You were born in a small coastal town where storms decided people's moods. Your father was a fisherman. Your mother repaired nets and prayed you would choose a safer life. But you were different. While other children played in the sand, you watched ships, studied them, counted sails, memorized flags. At age 9, you stowed away on a trading vessel just to see the open ocean. They found you 3 days later. Instead of throwing you overboard, they made you work. That was your first lesson. The sea gives nothing for free. At 13, you left home for good. No goodbye. No letter. No second look at the shoreline. You left before sunrise, when the town was still pretending to be peaceful. You walked past the boats your father trusted more than people. Past the nets your mother spent nights repairing by candlelight. You didn't cry. Because you already knew something they didn't. You were never meant to stay. The merchant crew that took you in wasn't kind. They were desperate. And desperate men don't ask many questions. You slept beside cargo crates that smelled like rot and salt. You ate last. You worked hardest. And if you complained, you were reminded quickly that the ocean has no patience for weakness. They weren't pirates. But they sailed close enough to danger to learn from it. You learned fast. Because slow boys fall from masts. You learned how to climb rigging in storms. Hands bleeding. Wind trying to rip you into open water. You learned how to fight with a knife in spaces too tight to swing a sword. Elbows. Breath. Instinct. You learned how to read the sky like a living map. Cloud color. Wind shift. The silence that comes before something terrible. By 14, you had stopped being a child. By 15, you had stopped expecting safety. The pirate attack came at dawn. Too early for most crews to be ready. Perfect timing for hunters. You heard the first cannon before you saw them. The sound punched through the ship like thunder trapped in wood. Then came smoke. Thick. Burning. Blinding. Wood screamed as cannonballs tore through rails and mast supports. Men shouted orders nobody could hear. Someone near you lost half his shoulder and didn't even have time to fall properly. Then the pirates were on you. Hooks. Ropes. Boots hitting deck like rain made of iron. You grabbed a blade. Not because you were brave. Because you were angry. Angry at hunger. At fear. At the way life kept deciding things for you. A pirate rushed you. Bigger. Stronger. Laughing like this was sport. You moved before thinking. Steel flashed. Blood came faster than you expected. The world slowed for 1 second. Long enough for you to realize. You didn't freeze. You didn't hesitate. You survived. The fight kept moving around you. Gunshots. Men falling. Wood burning. But someone was watching you. The pirate captain. He didn't rush in. Didn't shout orders. He just watched. Like a man studying a weapon he might want to keep. When the fighting ended, you were on your knees. Breathing salt and smoke. Waiting for death. Boots stopped in front of you. Heavy. Unhurried. You looked up. The captain studied you like cargo. Not like a boy. Not like a victim. Like something useful. He said, "You fight like you don't care if you live." You said nothing. Because you weren't sure you did. He gave you a choice. No speech. No threats. Just truth. Join. Or sink with the ship. You looked around. At the men you worked beside. At the burning wood. At the sea waiting to swallow what was left. Then you looked at him. And realized something cold and simple. The world you left home for didn't have a place for boys anymore. So you stood. Blood on your hands. Smoke in your lungs. Salt drying on your skin. And you chose the black flag. Not because you wanted to be a pirate. Because you understood something already. Sometimes survival is just choosing which nightmare you can live with. The first night, you didn't sleep. Not because you weren't tired. Because you didn't trust anyone enough to close your eyes. They didn't welcome you. Pirates don't do welcomes. They threw you a blanket that smelled like mold and old blood. Pointed to a space near the lower deck water barrels. And told you, sleep there. Or don't. Doesn't matter to us. You learned fast. On pirate ships. You earn space. You earn food. You earn air. Week 1. They didn't test you with swords. They tested you with humiliation. You scrubbed decks until your fingers split open. Carried cannonballs heavier than your pride. Climbed rigging in winds strong enough to peel skin. If you slowed down, someone kicked you. Or laughed. Or both. Food came last. Sometimes not at all. And nobody explained rules. Because learning the hard way was the rule. You watched everything. Who people avoided. Who people listened to. Who disappeared between ports and never got mentioned again. The captain never spoke to you. But you felt his eyes sometimes. Measuring. Waiting to see if you would break. You didn't. Not because you were strong. Because you had nowhere else to go. Week 2. They started giving you real work. Boarding prep. Blade sharpening. Powder carrying. One older pirate taught you how to move in tight corridors during ship fights. Don't swing wide, he told you. Ships are narrow. Death is closer than you think. They made you practice knife fighting in cargo holds. Low ceiling. No room to breathe. You learned fights weren't about strength. They were about seconds. That week, you saw your first execution on board. A crew member caught stealing coin from shared loot. No speech. No trial. Just tied hands. Cold water. Gone. No one reacted. That scared you more than the killing. Week 3. During a night watch, 2 pirates cornered you below deck. Not to kill you. To see if you were prey. One shoved you. The other laughed. You said nothing. Until the shove turned into a punch. You moved before thinking. Knife out. Blade against throat. Close enough to feel his pulse racing. You didn't cut. You didn't need to. After that, nobody touched you without reason. Not respect. Not yet. But recognition. Week 4. Your hands hardened. Your sleep got lighter. Your instincts got faster. You stopped jumping at every loud noise. Stopped flinching at shouting. Stopped dreaming about home. Because home started feeling like something that belonged to another person. You helped on your first full raid as part of the main boarding crew. Not leading. Not following blindly. Existing inside the chaos. And when it ended, you realized something terrifying. You were getting used to it. At the end of the first month, the captain finally spoke to you. Just once. Passing you on deck. He said, "Still alive." Not praise. Not approval. But in pirate language. It meant, "You belong here now." And that night, for the first time since you left home, you slept. Not peacefully. But without expecting to wake up dead. And somewhere deep inside, you understood something you would never admit out loud. The sea wasn't trying to kill you anymore. It was testing how much of you it could take. For your first boarding raid, it happened just before sunrise. The sea was flat. Too calm. Like it was watching. You remember the sounds first. Wood creaking under tension. Boots hitting deckboards. Someone whispering a prayer. Then the smell hit you. Salt water. Wet rope. Gun smoke already burning the air. And something else. Fear. Not just theirs. Yours. When the grappling hooks landed, your heart slammed so hard you thought the others could hear it. You climbed over the rail with the rest of them. Then everything moved too fast. Shouting. Gunshots. Men slipping on wet deckboards. Blades flashing in early morning light. You saw him. A merchant guard. Young. Maybe not much older than you. His hands were shaking. His sword wasn't. He rushed you. You didn't think. Training moved you. Your arm moved. Steel met flesh. Too easy. Too fast. Too final. He stopped moving. Just like that. Like someone blew out a candle. The world didn't explode. You didn't feel powerful. You didn't feel strong. You felt quiet. Empty. Like something inside you stepped back and never returned. You stared at your hands. Waiting to feel something. Guilt. Fear. Regret. Nothing came. And somehow, that scared you more than the